All right, everyone, we're back. Welcome to the 546 Project. And we're in a different location this time. We want to thank Nathan for having us.
Yes, it's been like 2.5 years since you guys been here.
So, yeah,
We're great friends. Don't listen to him and take that negativity.
Yeah, I was trying not to mention how long because it makes a lot of us
I was
look
telling
bad.
the truth.
It really makes Dan look the worst. You know?
Oh, yeah, because Dan can't drive. It makes him look really horrible. But no one doubted your facts of the truth, sir. It's just, it made us look bad to say how long it had been.
I was just waiting for an invitation. I actually felt bad because I hadn't been invited up for a while. It hurt.
Yeah, what he said.
Boy, is there egg on your face.
I've said to come over for a couple times.
See, I just basically tell everybody at our place it's open door policy. That just, that legally unbinds me from any wrongdoing. So.
Yes,
Like,
and
I
when
don't
he
want people
says
to
open-
just whenever.
I'm just under the impression that you guys just don't like people from Pennsylvania. You know?
You know for a fact that I do, and look at Dan. How many people from Pennsylvania has he had sex with?
I've got to know them intimately. Yeah, pretty much. We can't.
So, I mean, he is married to a Pittsburgher, so...
all my
The
family's from
best part of
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And all of my dad's side of the family is from Pennsylvania, so... I fucking love Pennsylvania. And back to Dan's open door policy. It is truly an open door policy, as like we learned from like yesterday. Just if you're in the area and you need a place to shit, being able to stop over at your friend's house.
Apparently dropped by. I mean, thank God I was there. He'd have went anyway.
I lost my key, so I couldn't get into the house. If you weren't there, I just would have went in and shit, and I don't know, maybe fooled around a little bit and then left. But
What's really sad about that is when he says fool around, he means with himself.
I have no idea what these guys are talking about.
No. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to switch things up a little bit today with our format, but a lot of stuff to get to. Nathan, I think you had some things you wanted to start off with.
I don't want to start off with what you started off with.
I was really hoping that
It
was a chair.
begins. It begins already. 2 minutes in.
It was.
So hopefully that doesn't permeate. But
Well, it was, if anything, blame fucking Hardee's and the terrible ass dinner we got.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. Little let down by you tonight, Hardee's.
Yes.
Really let down. The food, for the most part, primarily was lukewarm to cold.
It was trash.
Yeah, very, very
My
upset.
fries were all stuck together. I had a fry ball.
You did have a fry ball.
Huge shout out though for the mocha milkshake. Pretty fucking epic.
No,
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut.
the biggest shout out would be for the Heinz ketchup and the Mellow Yellow.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Hardee's, I mean,
Well, there's other shout outs that could be given, but we're going to
Okay, yeah.
just...
Refrain from that.
Yeah.
I don't
we're-
know. I guess it's because you guys came over.
See,
I've
are you
always
sure
had-
you want us to come over more often?
I know, right?
Maybe not. Maybe
We're gonna
if we-
ruin Hardee's for
Maybe
you.
if we don't go to Hardee's,
Go somewhere else next time. Man, this
Well,
place sucks now too.
next time we will try Rudders.
then
Next
you're
time-
gonna then you're gonna like disparage like the Waynesburger or Sapporo
Next
or
time,
something
next
like
time,
that.
I will throw Rudders all the business in the world. We'll just rudder it up next time.
Go to Sapporo. That's Japanese.
No, I'm fine with Rudders.
Yeah, we'll rudder it up next time. But Nathan, you had a couple things you wanted to start off with in sports.
Anyway, so the British Open final round was today on the day of this recording, and
It's a sad time.
And if
Yeah,
you're like the
that-
rest of us, we didn't even know it was going on.
Yeah, one of the only times that we're going to talk about golf. But one of the episodes of how Kevin hated Cal Ripken like so much.
Yes.
He was like,
Remember it well.
Well, think about how much he hates Cal Ripken is to how much I hate Tiger Woods.
So you got a real mad on for Tiger.
I do.
Didn't realize you were such a Tiger Woods hater.
Yeah. I don't like his personality. I think he is arrogant. And I really didn't like how he cheated on his wife.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was going to say.
I
let's
hear
face
she
it,
wasn't happy about it either.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, let's face it. It did pretty much come out that the guy was trash.
He was trash.
And then
We got to just have a soundbite for
We
that.
do. We need a
Yeah.
soundbite.
Just have it ready. Yeah, we really do.
But then he had that phony apology that he had on TV, and it looked like he was a robot, and he may be a robot. I don't know.
Very
He's
well
a
may
golfing robot.
Very well may be an android.
Replicant.
That actually makes me think of something I wanted to bring up, but go ahead. It's sports related. Go ahead.
But I'll say this. My hatred of Bryce Harper comes from only that time at Chipotle.
Well, that was a personal experience,
Yes.
though. The jackhole cut in front of everybody.
But I don't hate him as much as I hate Tiger Woods. I'm not a fan of his at all. I just...
I hear you
Any-
won't even play his video game.
Yeah, I never got his video game, and they stopped making it because of all the stuff that happened.
Because he was trash. Yes.
But the thing is, the thing about golf is it's a selfish sport anyway, because you're only playing against yourself. It's not like it's a team sport. Like, people hate LeBron, but he's part of a team. So, I don't...
So wait, hold on. I'm sorry. So sports where you're not on a team and you're just trying to better what you've done before, you're not like you have a problem with that?
Like runners.
It makes...
Yeah. Don't stand.
It makes Tiger more selfish because he only has to play himself, and he doesn't have to worry about anybody else.
And here lately, what you're trying to say is he hasn't been playing with himself very well.
Well, he did...
Nobody? Really? Nobody? I get nothing for that?
I
Okay, fine.
I don't appreciate that kind of humor, sir.
For what the personal opinion is, he had a decent round. It was one of his better rounds since he came back.
That's what I've heard.
But I hear that's not saying a whole lot.
heard about
Yeah.
it. I caught something about I didn't even know what tour he was playing on, but I did hear he was kind of looking like the Tiger of old there for a while.
Until he got to the 11th and he double bogeyed.
He checked
But,
in the end, much
you
like
know-
the Nationals do in the playoffs.
Yeah, Francesco Molinari won. Now, you may not know who he is. And
I can assure
no
you
one
I
does.
don't know who he is.
But yes, he won. And I just Tiger is not a guy I like. I didn't like him from the beginning.
Well, hats off to Francesco for, if anything, just beating Tiger Woods.
Yeah, he was in the duo when they played today.
Well, this smells very interesting, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. It's not a part of the food box. I'm just hungry because my dinner was so subpar.
Yeah, Kevin's eating the original Cake Bites, the rainbow cake
Yes, if
that
you
we
refer
had.
back to podcast number something, it was quite a while ago. When did we do that? They've been around. It was a while.
It's been a couple months. Yeah,
It was at least this year. We'll say that.
I don't think he likes it.
What the fuck is this?
Wow. I don't want to try it now.
No, you definitely need to try it. It's so good.
You're not going to get honest opinions like
yeah.
this anywhere else, folks.
I'm trying.
No,
It's
it's
a-
interesting.
a
It's
mini
not,
fu-
it's not terrible.
Mini food box.
That does not
review
smell
here.
good. Are these the same ones from like a few months ago?
No, they're
So you
they're
rebought
fresh.
these?
They're fresh. I got them at Sam's Club.
I liked them. I think if I remember
I
correctly, I thought
liked
they were
them
all
a
right. Yeah,
lot.
there was nothing wrong with them at all. But anyway,
But
back
to move on,
back to sports.
move back on to Woods.
Yeah.
From our Twitter,
Oh, that they laugh at. Jackasses. Anyway, continue.
from our Twitter, and our Twitter handle is _546_project. I put out a tweet that said, "Why are people rooting for Tiger Woods to win the British Open, or acting like it's some great story if he does?" Because ESPN put out an article like it would be the best thing in golf history if he won.
Well, look at golf history. Does anyone give a shit?
It would make him relevant again. That'd be about the only thing I can
And
think
we
of.
got a couple of replies.
Oh, did
Oh,
One of them said,
call him out. Who was it?
I don't want to name them. They're kind of like, I don't even know who these people are.
You
Honestly.
know them, don't you?
No, I don't actually.
All right.
ESPN magazine said.
Linda Cohen? What? No.
This person who may have or may not have been.
Tiger Woods himself tweeted.
This person said, because it has been 10 years since he won one, the greatest golfer of all time making a comeback when no one thought he would ever play again.
What's that one tweet there that says Willie Mays Hayes couldn't play dead?
Somebody also
Again, nothing? Wow, I'm pitching aces here today. I'm getting nothing.
Somebody else said, "Are you serious?" And then somebody else, which this was a relevant reply. Plus, for a money perspective, if he wins, everybody on the tour wins. Those TV ratings go way up, which I cannot deny that. Meaning more money.
So that means 5 people will be tuning in as opposed to 2.
Yeah. Meaning,
Well, I mean, those big numbers.
meaning more money for the dude who barely makes the cut. So I decided to reply.
I can respect that answer. I mean, I can
Yeah,
at least
that
get behind
that
that
one of that.
Yeah.
Somebody liked the "Are You Serious" one. I don't know why, but whatever. I just said, let's be clear. The anti-well wishes have nothing to do with golf itself. If you're willing to overlook the outside things, so be it. And I can't. Sorry. I mean, it's one thing if you do it once. If you do it like 14 or 15 times,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
mean,
problem.
there's a difference between a slip and then a backslide and then just a whole freaking avalanche of mess. I mean, yeah,
It's very. I mean, he was all about himself. He didn't care about his wife. Obviously,
no, he rode the hype. He rode the hype.
Now-
And so did they.
Now,
yeah, pretty much.
now I bring this up. Do you think the people that he was with share the blame equally, or how do you see? I mean, they're the ones that are with him too.
They knew he was married.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about like his handlers or whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely
Handlers
talking about
of-
the
Yeah,
people
they
that
were
handled.
handlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that handled Little Tiger. Yes, I can buy into that. They knew he was married,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
how many of them? I mean, I honestly
He was the
don't-
first $1 billion athlete, correct? Like, if I remember correctly, I don't know. I don't follow golf, but when he was relevant back in 2005, I don't fucking know.
I think it was before that.
I don't fucking know because
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
I don't follow golf at all.
But I can't believe we're still talking about this, to be honest. But no, I agree. Fuck him. I don't care.
But no,
I
I
don't
think,
give two
but I
shits.
think they share. I think they share in the blame. Absolutely.
I don't
But,
think so.
You
More
know that.
importantly, we have
wait.
what?
There are
Warren G
some.
and Nate Dogg on TV behind us here.
There
this
are
doesn't happen
some.
very often.
There-
You with the hat, right? Sorry, old school
Old
playing in
school.
the background.
There are some that I can guarantee you did it because I'm sure they knew there'd be some 15 minutes of fame behind it. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, and anyone that pays for sex is pretty creepy as it is.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's like only $40.
Even if they manage to talk them down from that, I mean,
Yeah.
you know. But no, I think they're equally as guilty. I'm not going to say all the guilt lays on me, but he knew what he was doing too, and so did they.
Are you talking about the people that he had like the affairs with?
Yes.
Or are you talking about the people in his like entourage?
No,
and
the people he
everything?
had the affairs with. The people who handle. I hope his entourage isn't handling Little Tiger. That,
I was just asking for clarification. I'm about to throw something at you.
that's
And
not
he's got
very
hot
nice.
coffee.
No,
He's
no,
not
I-
wasting that coffee.
See.
He's not wasting that on the likes of me.
And he really wasn't that picky because it seemed like anybody he could get on that could get on him, he was fine with.
Well, that's why it's called an addiction.
But
Yeah,
I mean, but
yeah.
like what? Yeah, and what was the total? I mean, how many? I remember when it
I
came
thought
out.
it was in the teens.
Yeah, I mean, we're not just talking like 2 or 3 people here. Like, there's a problem somewhere. I mean,
Oh,
this
in,
guy's.
in the teens? That's what you're on? Please, Ric Flair calls that a long weekend. I mean, you know, who
Well,
you reading
how
that
many-
book on?
well-
Chamberlain?
I was going to say
Wilt
Wilt
Chamberlain?
Chamberlain.
Yeah, not Richard, but yeah.
Or you know,
yeah.
how many did Dustin Diamond say he slept with in that book that he brought out, but then later retracted it and said it was all like the ghostwriter's fault. You know, but yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine
I-
Screech getting that much play.
Maybe it's
But,
not Zach Morris's
Trash. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't care about him. I don't care if he wins. I don't care if he loses. Just whatever.
I felt like it was a bit of karma when he got his back injury and he couldn't play for like 2 or 3 years.
I mean, he really hasn't been the same since.
He hasn't. I guess in a way it's amazing that he can even play golf.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
just his back's messed up, but he managed to get a 4 rounds under par for the whole weekend, and
I mean, I guess overall he's got nothing to be ashamed of. This is one of the greatest tournaments he's played in how long? But
I found it pretty interesting. He was at the 18th hole and he was driving, and you know how they
Oh,
tell,
about driving the cart. He was okay.
yeah, they don't
Yeah.
they don't
In,
do that.
in professional golf, you have to walk.
They have to walk. But he was driving, and right as soon as he was going to hit the ball, like these people yelled because you're supposed to be quiet in golf,
Right.
And so
I saw Happy
I guess
Gilmore, I know how it
I guess
works.
in a way he got distracted and his ball didn't hit the fairway, and he was a little agitated about that.
Oh.
So
So it was kind of like on Jackass when they would hide in the trees with the air horn.
Yeah.
No, I think that's I don't know. It is what it is.
Why was Ted Kennedy not a good partner at golf?
Why?
Couldn't
he
drive
didn't
across the
drive.
water.
Yeah.
Notice how Dan is just silent.
Well,
We'll
I was
pay back for
I was
Jason.
pitching aces earlier and nobody did shit. So
That's,
whatever.
that's relevant because of that movie, right?
Yeah, Chappaquiddick. Yeah, I heard he blamed the whole thing on bad directions.
Yeah, what about JBK blowing away, Dan?
Well, the next time you're able to get every song lyric of every song correct and you never mess up and, you stop being a giant douche, then you know what? then we'll talk, okay?
I mean, I don't really mess up on music lyrics too often. Just saying.
You guys still ate
You're
those
just
three
better than we
bites?
are.
Yeah, I ate 2 of them.
Oh, I thought you didn't like them.
I was still hungry.
So if I took a dump right now, you would eat it.
No, because that's not actual
There's
food.
actually a whole food
No, at one time it was.
pile of food here next to us for the upcoming food box.
Why would you even say that?
Yeah, this
Because
is
Nathan is a nasty bastard.
this is totally
Are
just
they nuts?
taking a wrong turn. But you had something else you
Kind
wanted
of
to go
like
with
Tiger's
sports?
ball.
Tiger's career, Tiger's life.
Tiger's
Or
balls.
like Eliza Dushku. in
Tiger's
the
balls
horror
in
film.
general took a wrong turn.
But,
Eliza Dushku in the horror film.
but
Wrong
you wanted
turn.
to,
Was
you
she
wanted
in
to
that?
go
Yeah.
another direction.
I think, yeah, she was in the first one.
I didn't see it.
Well,
She hasn't been in any
As-
of the sequels.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one, so I want to see what everybody's opinion is. Well, I know Kevin's. We talked about this yesterday.
so the second thing that I posted on about Twitter, we had the All-Star game for Major League Baseball.
That's
past
off to
week.
the AL, by the way. Who
Yes,
walked
they
away
got
with
the
the win.
Thanks in
Surprise.
part to Gene Segura hitting a 3-run home run off of Josh Hader of the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, if you don't know, Josh Hader is a relief pitcher, and he had a very interesting night.
Somebody was out to get him, I believe. He's got a lot of haters now.
So, yeah, like, kind of, I don't know if it happened during the game or after
I
he
think
gave
it
up.
was. I think it was during the game. That's what I heard.
Somebody decided to look into his Twitter page and just scroll all the way down, like 6-7 years past today, and find some interesting tweets that he had. One of which said,
Let's keep in mind, again, he was 17 years old when these went out.
yeah, one of which just went out and said, "I hate gay people." And he used a slur that is against black people as well, more than once. So, yeah, he had to apologize more than once about this, and it is what it is. But you, Dan, you said, like, you attribute it to youth.
Okay, yeah, I'm not pardoning what he said, and it's not something that should go out on Twitter. But I kind of feel like how many of us, and I'll ask everyone in this room, how many of you feel exactly the same way you did about every subject in the world when you were 17 years old as you do now?
I don't feel the same about
I
it.
don't feel the same about it, but I mean, I've become. I don't know. There's words that didn't really have as much meaning to them back then that I would never dream of using now.
Now, remember,
Like-
when we grew up, we didn't have Twitter, and
Very
Facebook was
true.
really young, so we didn't have the opportunity to put our foot in our mouth.
Well,
But
at
it's-
17,
right.
we didn't have Facebook.
But at the same time, my point's going to be, okay, yeah, we didn't have a way to put it out there on social media, but was anybody here making those kind of comments saying, "Oh, I just hate gay people," or I like to use this slur against a whole group of people?
No, absolutely
I
not.
don't really remember.
So my point is, I mean,
You really need to be smarter than that. When it goes back to it, yes, you need to be smarter than that. But the things he said, I really can't defend as much as say with the whole James Gunn situation.
And we'll definitely get to that because you
Because
brought up some
these
interesting
are not
stuff with that.
jokes.
Right.
So I have a little bit more of a hard time with these.
But before we
from
roll
him.
into that, I think Dan was going to bring up a point about what his teammates have said.
Well, yeah, I listened to an interview. They were basically talking to one of his teammates, and his teammate, who I believe is a minority, he's okay with it. I mean, he still defends him. He said, he's a good guy. This is something that happened. I don't know how old he is now, but he was 17 when it happened. He said, let's face it. He said people grow and people change.
Well,
And
I think
he's willing to give the benefit of the doubt. And I mean, I'm sure not everybody's going to. I mean, but I don't know. I think, if he were still walking around like that today, yeah, I would have a problem with it. But again, I think people can change.
Well, I think what they said was that no one that he plays with or no one that really knows him well right now has heard him make any of those kind of statements.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's obviously, things have, and
Or he's just smart and keeps his mouth shut.
well, there's that too. I mean,
They're
we
saying,
don't know.
I hear he gets to do those that go to fun sensitivity trainings and stuff like that, where he'll probably be sitting with a bunch of people from Starbucks.
Wow.
So,
Now, he did make a relief appearance this weekend at home in Milwaukee, and he got a standing ovation.
I mean, there were comparisons to John Rocker.
Yeah, I made that comparison.
Yeah, I mean, well, you weren't the only one. I mean, I've seen, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not condoning what he did or what he said, but I just feel it with you, you make a lot of mistakes when you're young. We've all said and done things when we were young that were stupid, and we look back on it now and think, yeah, really shouldn't have did that.
The crazy thing
I
is,
give it more for the youth thing for him.
The crazy thing is he has an agent because he's a baseball player.
Of course.
Wouldn't you think his agent would say, hey, Josh, if you have any bad things on social media, you might want to scrub them. Even like when he's in high school.
Yeah, and this goes back to social media etiquette and stuff like that we've talked about. It's all about being smart with social media.
Absolutely.
And if you're going to be in a situation like that, I mean, let's face it, it doesn't matter if you're the caliber of, I'm so out of the loop with baseball. Machado, who just went to the Dodgers.
Manny Machado,
yeah. Or somebody like this guy, who, let's face it, was probably more of a relative unknown until this happened. You're still, in a sense, a celebrity. You need to take care of yourself and watch what you do and what you say.
This goes for all people. Don't
does,
put
but
anything
I'm
on
saying-
social media that you are not prepared for the
To
backlash
defend. Exactly.
from.
But more
you
so
live in an
celebrities.
age with smartphones, and people take pictures immediately of what you post online. They could be used against you in your work life, home life. It doesn't matter. Like, all that shit you post on social media can come back and bite you in the ass.
Well, I'm kind of
That's
saying...
why I don't hardly post anything personal on social media at all. It's usually just funny shit or sharing music and movies.
No, and
that's
but I'm saying more so
That's
for
what
like
it's
your
for.
more so celebrities and whatnot. They need to be more careful.
everybody needs to be more careful.
Exactly. I mean,
Especially
they do.
if your livelihood is based on being around the general public. or being
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I even watch what posts I even like.
Right.
I might not even reshare it, whether I give it whether I like it, because there's been some that I'm like, haha, I find that personally funny,
But I'm not liking it.
I'm not gonna like
You don't
that.
want to attach yourself to it.
Because, with Facebook, what do you see all these days is all these political memes and political posts.
Right.
You're never going to see me like, dislike, comment, whatever on it, because my political views do not need to be on social media. Like, I keep that shit to myself.
Well, it's just like I mentioned the tweet that I retweeted yesterday. Has nothing to do with my political views. I just thought it was funny.
No, see, I didn't care for the thing you retweeted because yeah, I don't know. It just opens up a whole side to social media that I don't need.
And I can understand that.
So-
I just want it to be known, if anybody would question me about it, it has nothing to do with my political views. I just thought it was a funny tweet with some of the things going on, and especially it just made me think that, like, and we're going to get into it, the director, the whole incident with that, that
Yes, I'm
people
gonna come back and
are-
get a drink real quick.
people are really all over this guy. Like, now this guy is quote unquote trash. But basically what I retweeted, for anybody who doesn't know, it basically said that, I can't remember it verbatim, but something about wait for the day we live in a world where we hold our president to the same standards we hold a movie director.
Hey, do you have this Gatorade you were talking about?
And, sorry, we're getting drink orders here during the show, folks.
It should be in the refrigerator on the shelf, like where the Frank's Red Hot is.
Well, Dan,
It's at the bottom.
You can drink the Frank's Red Hot if you
Yeah.
can't find it.
Yeah, we'd want that,
well,
right?
well, Dan, I'll step up and I'll say this.
But, okay.
I liked it. I thought that was funny, and I think it's 100% accurate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's true, and I'm not saying that because whether I'm for nor against Trump. I'm not. That's here nor there. It should be true. Why are we kind of targeting him and what's going on here? When, I mean, there's like no repercussions for some of the things that the president's saying, and that's with any president. I mean, he wouldn't be the first president to say something that people don't agree with.
Yeah.
But it's at a pace that we don't really hear any president back then.
I would have loved.
Yeah, you have no idea what everybody else was before social media. I
Like-
don't agree that the president should be able to go on Twitter and do all this.
Let's imagine what Honest Abe would say on Twitter, or George
Right.
Washington.
Oh, see, they're too much fun. I want to know how Nixon would have been trying to hack everyone's Twitter accounts and
I'm
stuff
just
like
thinking
that.
about what-
Nixon would have
how-
been so much fun.
I'm thinking how Twitter would have blew up during the whole Clinton scandal.
I was thinking about Clinton.
Yeah, in the mid-90s.
when
it
aren't
would've-
you thinking about Clinton?
Yeah, she's got a real woman crush on. Got a real, just big time heart on for Bill Clinton over here. But no, since we're kind of segueing into the other thing, Kevin,
humidity has changed
you
in
wanna
this room.
you want to kind of lead into that?
Well, I mean, there's no other place to really move into except for the whole James Gunn
Yeah, that's what I mean.
/ Disney
I couldn't think of his
fiasco.
name.
So this brings up a thing. I'm a James Gunn fan. I've been a James Gunn fan for many, many years. But
Please explain who he is for me. Who doesn't watch
James
movies.
Gunn is a writer / director who wrote and directed Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. This is his most recent films.
Marvel
Going to be his most well-known films. These two films combined have grossed over $1 billion for Disney worldwide. And Jason can go more into detail about the fact that he did this with this particular comic group.
Yeah, they weren't. It wasn't household names that people didn't know who, Drax was, Groot,
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord, Gamora. These were not household names like the X-Men or
Fantastic
Thor
Four or whatever.
they were very, B and C level characters.
But he turned that into a legitimate franchise, and the movies are so much fun, and they're two of my favorite Marvel MCU movies to begin with. But he was fired from Disney for some tweets, some dating back to almost 10 years ago. A decade has passed since some of these tweets have come out. I don't necessarily agree with the tweets. But we went back through and read some of the tweets yesterday, Dan.
Exactly. Yeah, we were checking
And
this out.
there was nothing on there that I felt that had Seth MacFarlane tweeted these that anyone would have even batted an eye about. But here is James Gunn being fired from Disney for it.
I mean, and really, when you think about it, what this boils down to is you've got internet trolls that have nothing else better to do than to dig into the past like
No,
this.
exactly. It's total fucking bullshit.
I mean, I quite frankly think they need to come up out of their mom's basement and go out and get some sunlight and just
Right.
live their lives. But no, and it's basically what you said was exactly 100% accurate. So what now with Marvel or with Fox acquiring Marvel? Are we going to fire Seth MacFarlane?
Because there's been a couple pedophile jokes on Family Guy.
Right.
my
I mean,
God.
it's just what I think about right away. I'm like, yes. When you look at it, yeah, it's a disgusting joke. But, you're talking about somebody who used to write and direct movies for Troma. of like all things. Like, this is to be expected. These are the kind of jokes that people make behind closed doors and don't post on social media. They have a laugh amongst themselves, and it doesn't go any further.
You said that yesterday, and that's just it. This is the same kind of stuff anybody would say right now.
Right.
Stuff that we would sit and talk about and kind of just find hilarious in our own right.
Like, oh my God, you fucking went there. You know, there's a shock value to it, and I don't know if shock value had anything to do with his original tweets or not. I would think, given his history as a horror writer, you know, he wrote Slither, Dawn of the Dead remake, you know, Romeo and Juliet, and, you know, like, I don't know, people just need to get over themselves. They get so fucking butthurt about everything. And, like I said, I wouldn't have posted anything like that on social media, so therefore, like I said, you're always going to have to
it's
pay
some stuff I would have stayed away from.
for that
but
backlash.
It's not,
But I can't say that some of those jokes didn't make me laugh when I read them. Does it make me a bad person for laughing at his tweets? I don't think so. But I'm not going to put it out there and jeopardize my job. Because if I put those out there and my job got a hold of them, I know the repercussions that I could end up getting.
I'd be fired.
Right,
At
right.
the risk of
right.
at the risk of being one of these people said, well, I'm not saying it's okay because what the person I'm about to mention did, but I mean, it nowhere near stands up to what Roseanne said.
No.
In my opinion, I mean that was
She
just
meant every
blatant.
word of it. And then she apologizes just because she's
Trying
no
to say
longer...
she was on Ambien.
Right.
And as the people behind Ambien clearly pointed out,
Right.
sorry, racism isn't a side effect of our drug.
James Gunn was sincere in his apology. This was like 10 years ago. And pretty much, I have not heard a negative thing come out from anyone who actually knows him or works with him. And they say he's such a nice, sweet guy and everything. And they love working with him.
I saw Batista came out.
He's
to
defended
defend
him.
Well, I'm actually reading this now. His brother, Sean Gunn. He, I believe he's an actor.
Yeah, he was in he was in the Guardians movies and probably some of his other stuff.
He posted about 10 different. It's one of those Twitter things to where you can't go over a certain amount of characters
Right.
to write everything out. So he posted a series of 10 tweets saying, well, it started, I hope it goes without saying that I love and support my brother James, and I'm quite proud of how kind, generous, and compassionate he is with the people in his life, whether they are friends, family, colleagues, fans, or strangers. And it goes on for another 10.
And, you know, the thing is, that's coming from way more than just him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, everybody who's worked with him, I have not heard a negative thing from these people. But it's like I said, you're talking about a creative type who is, you know, into horror movies, comic books, all this kind of stuff. So they make dark jokes behind closed doors. This guy just happened to upload it to social media, which was a really dumb thing to do. But do I think the guy should be fired from Disney? No. But, you know, the thing you have to look at is when you do load this, and 10 years ago he didn't think anything of it. But, you know, companies have the code of ethics that they stick to. So I don't see him getting rehired by Disney.
Absolutely not.
It's not going to happen. There's people that I have to terminate in our business for breaking our, you know, codes of ethic. And if it falls into that place, you know, what's the company to do to turn their back on their own?
I mean, it puts everybody in a rough situation, really.
Right. It's their codes of conduct. They have to go by it. So I'm not necessarily mad. I'm just so disappointed that somebody, like, so talented is just getting the shaft for something 10 years ago. I'm more mad at the person who had to sit back through and dig up because they didn't have anything else better to fucking do.
And like what we talked about, what it really comes down
it's
to.
like the hater stuff. Yeah, same
right.
type of
Yeah.
It's some
I hope
internet-
karma fucking bites that motherfucker right in the dick.
It's these internet trolls that have nothing else better to do, honestly. I mean, I guess crap is not going well in their own lives, so hey, let's bring down anybody else we can. But what it also falls back onto, you mentioned yesterday, how sensitive we are about things these days.
Yeah.
Just we as a culture, a society, whatever, how sensitive we are about what people say and what people do. I got news for you. Bullying and stuff like that has been going on way before now. I mean, this is stuff that's been going on. Okay, I'm a product of the 80s, and I'm a blind fat guy, and I'm going to tell you what, I've been getting bullied long before any of this happened, and I'm still here.
And it was going on long before that.
Exactly, and we're still here. It's the generation, honestly. I hate to say it. Everybody is just so sensitive now. You can't say this. You can't.
Yeah, you can't.
It's almost like you're being told what to feel and what to say nowadays.
You can't say shit. You got to kiss people's asses so fucking much.
Big Brother
because
is
you'd
not
be
only
afraid
watching,
of
but pointing
hurting
and
their
laughing.
feelings. I know we're missing Master of Puppets playing right now. I'm just going to point that out. This scene in Old School where they go kidnap Blue.
Among others.
Yes.
You mentioned about the McFarlane.
Yeah. If this were fucking Seth MacFarlane, nobody would be talking shit.
And I have, like, pretty much every Family Guy DVD that's out there.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think Family Guy's kind of on its last legs anyway.
Well, especially with Disney buying it out, are they going to allow shit like that to continue? Like, I don't see that happening.
Mickey Mouse is just going to walk in and put an end to all of it.
I absolutely don't see it happening. I mean, like you said, there's pedophile jokes, and man, there's just so much shit in Family Guy that is just as bad. That's what James Gunn said, but you're actually like seeing it on the screen.
You're animating it and putting it out there.
You know, I forget the one, but it stands out. The old man bending over in front of the boy at the bicycle shop or whatever. You know, like
hey, that was the last very special
Yes,
episode.
we watched that. Yes, we watched that. But and it goes. But now you said about Family Guy on its last leg, and it pains me to say this because I'm a fan of all of the shows I'm about to mention: South Park, Family Guy, The Simpsons. All
Simpsons
that
has been on its
It's
last
been
leg
for
for
a while.
15
yeah.
years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they keep going, but I mean, and I'm a big fan of all of those properties, but I feel like they're kind of running out of
It's
steam.
because they don't any original idea that people just don't really like that much.
Well, any original
And
ideas, remember, it
I
goes
don't
back
really
to the
watch
Simpsons
much
did
of
it.
any of them anymore, but I still find South Park just has the upper hand on all of them because they could stay relevant
The thing
much
I give
quicker.
Yeah, the thing I give South Park credit for is that they do their episodes. I guess they film differently than what like Family Guy and The Simpsons do.
Yeah.
That if there's something going on, give it 2 weeks and it's worked
then
into
it's
one of their
something-
episodes.
Well, the thing is, they don't have to worry about getting many people to do the voiceovers because they
'Cause
do
they
most of the
do it.
voiceovers.
they do all their work. Yeah,
Right.
Whereas
Exactly.
The Simpsons, you have to get these certain people
You've
to
got
come
a
in at
whole-
a certain time.
right.
And
And
I
same
feel
with Family
overall
Guy.
South Park should be the one that runs as long as The Simpsons has, and The Simpsons should have ended probably long before where
but
South Park.
but
currently
also,
is.
if you look at the seasons that South Park has, they're like only 14 episodes.
Right.
Whereas The Simpsons,
They're
they
running
do
like
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 20.
a
24, 25 episode run.
25-ish. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'd hardly watch any of them at all anymore.
Couldn't tell you last
American
time I
Dad would be the one that I watched the most out of all.
I
of them.
hate to say it, but I almost feel like shows like Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, and all that were so ahead of their time because that's almost like. Really, that right there is almost like what we should be watching now. Like, that would be the stuff that would just go over just fine now. It wouldn't have
Right.
made the big deal and the splash that it made back then.
See, I like Beavis and Butthead, and as big of a Nickelodeon fan as I am, Ren and Stimpy never did it for me.
Ren and Stimpy did not fit in the Nickelodeon mold at the time.
No. Well,
was-
I mean, Nickelodeon was weird as shit in certain areas, but I don't know. That at that time, I guess that grossed out cartoon didn't do anything for me.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like when
You think
All Real
about it,
Monsters came around a few years later, like I was into that.
I didn't care for that. I didn't follow
Right.
that as much. But you look at when it came out, this was what, 92?
Something like that.
91, something like that. You had it tail ending Doug and the Rugrats, which were two totally
Yeah, it
different
doesn't.
cartoons.
Yeah.
And then there's Ren and Stimpy, and I mean, even as a kid watching that, it's like you've got Doug that his biggest thing's trying to get into Patty's pants. I mean, what kid wasn't at that age? The Rugrats are like imagination out the ass. It's awesome, and then here's a cat playing with his boogers, like his magic nose guy. I was like, even as a kid, I remember just like, what is this? Like,
Right.
Not that I didn't like it, but it was so different.
Yeah.
It was so different from anything that was on TV. And Beavis and
Doug
Butthead
and
was the
Rugrats
same
were
way.
the absolute.
Oh,
best.
Doug,
Wow,
to date.
I love them.
To date, Doug is my favorite Nicktoon.
Yeah.
I feel Disney ruined it, but Doug is my favorite Nicktoon to date. Speaking of the Rugrats, we can segue into this. The Rugrats apparently are coming back.
Yes, they are.
I'm not a fan of them.
Really?
I love the Rugrats.
Between, I don't know. I guess it's the animation I just don't like the animation.
No, I mean the early episodes, just like any show, like South Park and The Simpsons and stuff, the animation wasn't the best, but it got better as the series went on. Just like Doug.
Right. I just liked the show. I mean, I thought it had, like you said, imagination out the ass.
Yeah, I mean, it had it all in a sense.
And there's a lot of adult themes in there, just like the writers put in like all Nickelodeon shows back in the day.
Exactly.
A book I have that I recommend you reading, Dan, is called Slimed. It's an account of like 90s Nickelodeon.
I heard about that.
And it's fucking incredible. Like
I will check that out.
I have it on Kindle, so you have it.
Ah, awesome.
So
I will get into
read
that.
it. You will love it.
But Doug, for me, like, Doug did it. Doug was awesome. Disney Doug was okay. I just feel like it's a shame. The voice cast, for one, because I'm a big fan on voice cast and all that. Apparently, the person who voiced Doug wanted more money than what they were trying to offer, and it really kind of hurt it when they couldn't get him to do it. And they're just other changes that were made. Disney kind of hurt Doug, but they also almost killed Power Rangers. So, I mean, these things happen.
What do you know about the revival? Is it going to be the same characters? Are they different?
I don't really know a whole. I haven't
It
read an
didn't really
article.
go into detail from what I had read. I imagine it's just going to be like a continuation of the show.
There have been
But
rumors.
Talk about a live action
weren't they a little?
Yes.
Weren't they older?
Well, they did the All Grown Up series.
Yeah, that was a separate series.
What happened, I forget what anniversary whatever they were celebrating. They did a cartoon called, I think it was called Rugrats All Grown Up, and the basis of the episode, Angelica's got a karaoke machine that she's playing around with, and of course the baby's trying to just get into anything that she's involved in just to piss her off on a regular basis. Somehow it goes into a dream sequence of them 10 years older, like basically in like middle school or high school, something like that. And they took it and they just spawned a whole separate series.
Right.
Series ran for a while too. I mean, it wasn't bad.
No, I heard like in the new one, it's going to be them, back when they're babies. So it's going to be the original gang, and
Just I guess continuation of the baby
right.
years.
But then they're also going to introduce some new characters, and then yes, there is also supposed to be a movie where it's going to be live action and animation intertwined.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
doesn't sound too appealing to me.
That doesn't sound appealing at all to me, but
I'll
I'll be excited to see what they do with Rugrats.
Yeah, the series. I'm more.
And, I don't watch TV other than sports, so I hardly watch it at all. Maybe this is something that'll get me to turn on my TV. I turn on, like, Monday Night Raw and fall asleep every week. Because Monday Night Raw...
You're probably not the only one.
As we've talked about before, if Raw came on from 9 to 11, I'd be able to stay up and watch Raw every week. But they don't care because I fall asleep with it on and they still get the ratings. So
there have been rumors. You asked about what we knew about. There have been rumors for a long time about a lot of the Nick properties coming back. So until you actually, like, I know there's talk of there being a movie that kind of intertwines a lot of the properties together. I don't know if we're going to get that or not.
well, they're talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark movie as well.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that.
Nickelodeon finally realized that their programming wasn't that good, so they had to bring all the programs back.
But that's happening with everything.
I think part of it is because the one producer, they let him go, Schneider, Dan Schneider.
Yeah,
I think that's part of it.
Could be.
Because he did like the iCarly and all those.
I was an
shows.
iCarly fan. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed iCarly.
Yeah, you look like an iCarly fan.
Yeah, swing it. What does an iCarly fan look like?
I don't know, but you do.
So anyway, let's get to good stuff. I feel like it's got a little depressing over here.
Yeah, it did get a little depressing.
No, I enjoy hearing about some of these reboots as far as the cartoons and stuff. Like, I've heard again that Doug could make a comeback.
If there's
rumors about
one
that would be
show
great.
that would be immensely popular and coming back, I think it's Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Well,
Really?
see, we got excited a year or so ago that
Didn't they have that movie?
It turned out to be a god-awful movie. I watched it. It wasn't even a game show anymore. It was more like an actual plot-driven movie. Kurt Fogg, I think, was that the host. He was in
on
it.
that, right?
He was on there. Yeah, he was in it, and they actually got Olmec, the head. He made an appearance, and they actually went into a temple, and there was like a whole myth behind there being a curse in the temple or something. I can't remember, but it was pretty crap.
One of the best shows they had that they could bring back
Unless
would
the
be
next
Guts.
word, Guts. I'll accept Guts.
I fucking love Guts to death.
But
To
as
this
long-
day, I still want to fucking
I don't
scale
think
the
Mike
aggro
O'Malley's
track.
doing anything.
Yeah,
so.
Mike O'Malley's not doing nothing, and we need to get Mo back too. More Cork. She needs to come back as well. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Nick Arcade was one of my favorites.
Yeah, but that's not going to go
I
anywhere
think
these
that's
days.
pretty dated now.
Yeah, it would have to
way
be a lot.
dated.
Yeah, you'd have to do a lot more with that. But it was great for the time.
Nick Arcade would have to be Nick Phone because you'd just be playing
Right.
the game on your phone.
The app, the Nick Arcade
Right.
app, download the app, make your own show. But no, I enjoy seeing a lot of this retro stuff come back, and I think a lot of people, that's why it's working out so well.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it with TV shows, your cartoons. I mean, anything.
People just want to be kids again, but they don't want to be Toys R Us kids because that's not around.
It can't be Toys R Us.
No, we
Yeah.
don't need to bring that up. Jeffrey the Giraffe is out of a job, and from what I hear, spiraling toward alcoholism. So I mean,
I heard he
don't
was
know.
in a wrestling event.
I know. Did you watch that
Oh, he
video?
I did
got
not-
knocked out apparently.
I did
mean-
not watch the video. I just heard.
No, he
the-
went into the ring and choke slammed somebody.
Oh, so
Like, it was fucking,
wow.
it was epic, man. That was a great video.
Well, think about it. Look at the job security he had for how long? Who expects a toy store to go out of it? I mean, there'll always be kids. There'll always be toys.
KB Toys went out of business.
Oh, that little soldier guy's out of work too. I mean, right, you know.
The rate of Jeffrey dollars compared to the U.S. dollar was not. all
No,
that
it
good.
just it couldn't. It's very tragic. I mean, there's still. We need to teach our kids that in the world today, there's still a lot of things out there that can hurt you, and life's not always toys and cartoons. Apparently, sometimes things just go bad.
Wear a fucking helmet, you'll be alright.
It's a shame.
So moving on to my favorite part of the weekend, and I know Jason's favorite part of the weekend, and I don't know if anyone else here. I know Nathan's probably least interesting part of the weekend.
Take your nap.
Because apparently he found golf more interesting this weekend than San Diego Comic-Con.
What is that? So
So-
take your nap and wake you up for the food
Do you want?
box.
Hey, can you explain to me what Comic-Con is?
Yes,
No, just
take it
kidding.
away, Jason.
No, I don't. I
So
know,
you are
I know,
familiar.
I know of it.
You are familiar
And I
with
know
Comic-Con.
it's about comics because of the name.
Well,
and
I-
I know it's it's the most popular one.
It's the biggest comic convention of the year. It takes place in San Diego. A lot of celebrities from the comic book industry, obviously, but also movies, TV. It seems like this year, really, even more than other years, it was the San Diego movie and TV
It's a nerd con,
convention. Yeah,
really.
I mean, I
It's
wouldn't be
basically-
surprised if it got renamed in a few years.
It's basically went from how long has it been going on, Jason? You know?
I'm gonna say a decade easy, but
at least, but it's kind of gone more from just comics to just pop culture. in
Exactly.
general.
It is.
I
It's
wouldn't.
a nerd
I wouldn't
con.
be
It's a
surprised.
pop-con. I mean,
yeah, I would not
honestly.
be surprised in the next few years if it went from the San Diego Comic Con to the San Diego Pop Culture Thon.
Because I
Right.
mean, like everybody's represented. Funko with pop vinyls and the property that they're doing. Power Rangers.
Bandai was right across from Hasbro. I know Power Rangers posted a video of them. Like, oh, this is awkward, because anybody who knows
great.
Bandai used to put out the Power Rangers.
Yeah, the
toys,
licensing
Hasbro
has
bought
switched.
them out. So yeah, that was a really funny.
for those of you that don't
video.
understand, imagine going to a restaurant, you get your seat, and then your ex gets the table next to you.
Correct.
Basically, that's what happened for that company.
But like in this situation, I'm really hoping that Hasbro will do much better with the property, and let's put out a movie fucking series that will actually work. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved what Lionsgate and everybody did. I thought it was good.
Well, you
but I didn't
saw
get
it
a
8
sequel.
times.
I saw it 8 times in the theater, yes. But I feel that Hasbro could really make something really great with it. Now, say what you want about the Transformer movies. They're great popcorn movies. I saw all but the last one in the theaters. I saw the Bumblebee trailer came out this weekend.
A new one.
I don't know. I assumed it came out this weekend.
As
I
Nathan
watched
walks
it this
away,
weekend.
this is great.
But I mean, those are just good, fun popcorn movies.
Oh, yeah. No,
and
it's-
I would like to see that with more, maybe more Ranger action.
I didn't follow everything as much as you all did, but I did follow because I'm becoming a Funko fan and also keeping up with what Power Rangers are doing and what was being represented there. And I mean, we got some great trailer drops that I know you guys are chomping at the bit to talk about. So
Yes, after
Yes,
50
we are.
minutes.
Jason's ass is sweating. He's readjusting in his chair as we speak.
So Jason, why don't you go ahead? What did you enjoy about Comic-Con this weekend, Jason?
We got some spectacular teases for movies and TV shows coming up. DC is launching their streaming device. We don't have a date for that yet. They put out a price that it'll be about $8 a month,
Wow.
or you can do $80 for a year. And they had some previews for what's going to be on there. It's a live-action Titans or Teen Titans, however you want to look at it.
Fuck Batman.
I'm getting to that part. Which showed it's going to be a very dark and gritty show. Surprisingly, usually you see, if you're familiar with the Teen Titans cartoon or even the comic, young sidekicks, Robin, who was Batman's sidekick, Kid Flash, Wonder Girl in the old incarnations, all coming together and trying to find their way in the world. Oh, this is a very dark, gritty TVMA version of the Titans, where at one point when Robin shows up and is beating down thugs, they're like, well, what about Batman? Isn't he going to help you? And Robin's like, fuck Batman. And I'm like, whoa. And then Robin like breaks a guy's kneecap and gives somebody a compound fracture. So though I was kind of taken aback by how dark it was and violent, they had me interested. I'm looking forward to watching it. And then on the flip side of that, for a little bit of a lighter tone and something maybe a little more comic accurate, we have the third season of Young Justice that will premiere on there, which I'll be honest, the characterization on Young Justice is excellent. The storytelling is excellent. Anybody that's familiar with the old like Batman, Superman, and Justice League cartoons from back in the day, it's on par with that. I mean, I watched that teaser with a tear in my eye because of like stuff they're doing with the Flash family, and that is going to be amazing.
So what kind of back catalog are we going to be getting?
A back catalog?
No, back catalog.
Yeah,
I knew
back.
You were going to say. Oh, I thought you said bat catalog.
No, well, we have a nice back catalog.
I'm sure we do. So
Pretty
yeah, like
much
what are we?
Anything that you can think of. Like I said, Batman's going to be, Batman the Animated Series is going to be on there in HD. A ton of their movies, a ton of their old cartoons. Pretty much almost anything you can think of is going to be on there for streaming.
We're going to get 67 Batman on there?
66, you mean?
Or 66?
I don't think that's going to be on there.
Don't mess
And
with
that-
Jason when it comes
That's
to
right. I got a year off. I mean, right, his parents.
I guess they could put season 2 on eventually.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. You get people in.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, but
It could be the same thing with like what held up the DVDs and all.
right. But there's going to be plenty of other things on there to watch. Plus, they're going to continue to put out new material like Titans, Young Justice. There's going to be a Swamp Thing show down the line.
Oh, very nice.
Doom Patrol. So
Yeah, I read about Doom Patrol. That seems very interesting.
Maybe we can get those old Super Friends cartoons on there too.
yeah, so it'll be interesting. I just I hope that it's ready to go, and when they launch. So what other trailers did we get? Oh, for the movie-wise.
Movie-wise, we'll save the 2 we watched again for like last.
Okay.
Because I personally think they're my favorites from the weekend. We got the trailer for the new Fantastic Beasts movie. I loved the trailer. I think it looks great.
I watched it. Is that supposed to be a prequel to the last one?
No, it's a sequel.
No, it's a sequel.
Okay, I was curious because when they show, Scamander in Hogwarts, I didn't realize, I didn't know if they were kind of going back or if that may be just a flashback in the movie or
Flashback.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I wasn't sure.
So the fact we get to see Hogwarts again and
We get young Dumbledore.
Dumbledore,
Yes.
I believe if I was correct, I saw Thestrals in the preview. There's so many Easter eggs that I can't remember now, but it looks really good. It looks so much fun. I know there's a lot of controversy about Johnny Depp being in it, but I'm really looking forward to it. It got me excited, big time.
More so.
Yeah, more so. Godzilla trailer dropped this weekend.
I saw a lot of people reposting that on Facebook. And
Yeah.
that's got a lot of hype.
It looks it looks so good. Out of 10, I'd give it an 11. I guess you haven't seen the trailer, but the girl who plays 11 is in the movie.
Ah, very nice.
So,
Very nice.
There's an ace unit dropped. So, but no, that looked really great. That seems like a really cool like survival kind of movie. Like I think the teaser trailer showed the girl who plays 11 kind of like in a bunker in a room with like the ham radio and stuff. Like that's really cool. And then introduced, you got to see all some of the monsters that are going to be in it, and, Hydra and all that kind of shit. Like, it looked fucking...
I need to sit down and actually watch a trailer.
Mothra looked good.
Mothra looked great, yes.
I enjoyed the last movie they did.
Yeah, it was really good. So I don't know where this falls in with King Kong, but apparently they're going to have Kong and Godzilla
eventually
battle. So... Kong Skull Island was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
What other trailers we get this weekend?
They announced that we're going to get 12 more episodes of Star Wars: The Clone Wars that will debut on the Disney streaming channel.
Does that make technically season 7?
Something like, yeah, I believe so.
In a sense.
So, having heard some of the story, because I think they were like halfway through writing season 6 or something when it got bought out by Disney and it came to a halt. So I think there was some finished stuff that never got animated, so I've heard what some of those stories might be. I'm excited. There was like a Boba Fett story, so I'm like, yes.
Well, since you're not probably going to get your movie for a while.
Right, and I like, even since Disney took it over, his character has been like very underutilized. Like, he's appeared in like one full issue of his comic.
It's because he's too cool and dark.
I guess so. Or they're just kind of waiting to see what they want to do with the character, so...
Did he make a pedophile joke?
I don't think so, but I don't follow him on Twitter. Might have been something about doing something to Han while he was in Carbonine. But so I'm really excited about that. And then, so are we ready to move on to Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we finally got to see the Aquaman trailer. That finally dropped, and boy, was it worth the wait.
It really was. That movie looks beautiful.
Yeah,
for
it does.
starters. You have James Wan at the helm directing this movie. Dan, you'll know him. I think he directed Fast and Furious 7. I'm not a fan of that series. I know he directed one of the later sequels. Of course, he's most well known for like Saw.
And isn't he also
the Conjuring movies? And
isn't he attached to develop the Swamp Thing movie on the Disney streaming?
You mean on the DC?
Yeah,
streaming?
Sorry.
Because I don't think Disney's going to end up with that. But
no, thank you. Yeah, on the Disney streaming.
I thought I read that. Yes.
Okay, so if you thought that, I thought that, then we're probably correct.
But even if not, I mean, James Gunn's out there. I'm just going to throw that out there. I would love to fucking see James Gunn work for DC.
But,
I would fucking love it.
I tell you who wouldn't love it. I'll tell you who wouldn't love it. Jared Leto.
Why?
Because apparently I guess at one point in one of James Gunn's tweets along the way, called Leto a pedophile.
Oh.
Wow.
And Leto retweeted basically a picture of himself going deuces to Gunn. Mm-hmm. Like, haha, deuces, bye, haha. So,
well, so you're saying he's not a pedophile?
Yeah, my point. Only point I'm making is
that Gunn's got some heat with Leto. But then again, if Leto's out of the DC universe, I don't think it's going to piss off too many people.
Or okay, let's go down this. Let's just.
Isn't he a musician too?
Yes.
Yes.
30 Seconds to Mars or whatever. But okay, let's drive down this road real quick. I won't go too far down it. But yeah, so another thing they announced this weekend is it's now the DC Multi-Worlds or something to kind of make sense of why there's going to be a Joker movie with Walking Phoenix. God, my head hurts just talking about this. But no, Jared Leto's still our Joker for the DC universe that they've been building. I guess we're just going to get other stories that take place on parallel Earths. But why? Because, as we said, Aquaman looks awesome. Kind of looks like Star Wars underwater at times.
Right. And the Aquaman trailer itself, I pointed out, it felt a lot like what Marvel does with their trailers.
Right. It was
they cut it like almost just like they would have, say, a Thor trailer.
Right, exactly. Especially like Ragnarok, which was a very fun movie.
Right.
I felt that way with Aquaman. So that looks great.
Yeah, it does. I'm super excited to
And then,
see that.
as excited as I was for that, then a few seconds later, I'm like, oh my god, the Shazam trailer just dropped. Didn't know we were getting this, and I watched it mouth agape because, oh my god, this looks fun. It looks awesome. It's exactly what the comic book should be, adapted to the screen.
I literally laughed my ass off watching this trailer.
In a good way.
In a very good way. Like, I had some very strong laughs. I was very entertained. The two boys seemed to do an impeccable job, based on the trailer at least.
Right, yeah.
I know we can't tell too much just by that. But it seems like so much fun. It seems like it is just going to be a fucking blast.
So I'm like, with, hopefully, DC getting their legs under them and hopefully getting people talking, with Aquaman doing well, and then Shazam, and then we have Wonder Woman 84 still coming. We're building this world. We're getting our legs back under us. Why are we going to divert and then make this like random Joker movie?
I don't know if that's so they could just play around more where they don't want to go in that direction with the DC movie universe. Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Because I'm going to take it maybe this is going to be a rated R Joker movie we get with Phoenix at the helm.
Maybe. But it's just like, I feel like then it kind of, it's just weird.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I've heard people talking about how it's, I mean, how much Joker do you show? Especially, I mean, is he going to become the Joker? Like, what are we going to see? Or is this like all in origin and then at the very end he's going to become the Joker? Because I heard that Thomas Wayne is supposed to be a main character in it.
Oh, really?
I mean, you're just hearing random things, and I'm not trying to, throw stuff out there that's not going to happen. But I'm just kind of like, this makes no sense. Like,
Is it just because they're just going with the different universes right now? They're like, we can do this because we're DC and we have all these...
I guess, but at the same
time...
Throughout
the multiverse, there's how many Jokers on...
It's like getting everybody in a car and everyone's having a good time and then stopping the car and going, okay, now get into this car over here.
But they, honestly, instead of going in the direction where they're having, like, the Walking Phoenix Joker, maybe they should correct and, make the current Joker amazing, like everybody wants, like the Dark Knight. Like, perfect this Joker first before you experiment with another. I didn't have a problem with Leto's Joker.
I didn't either.
He had no screen time.
Right. But, I mean, and once again, a character that's been around about 80 years, there's been many different interpretations. You can stretch it, you can move it, you can mold it many different ways, and it still works. It's still the Joker. So, I think we just had to have a chance to flush that characterization of the Joker out.
Exactly.
And
we haven't had time to do that yet.
Right. And then then you're confused your just regular movie-going audience.
Right.
But like I said, I didn't want to
I thought Jared Leto was a Joker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the last thing I'm going to say about that is, like, I did hear one theory where, like, what if this is actually like a prequel to Batman 89?
That would be interesting.
That would be cool. And,
that... yeah, that would be.
You see him playing a young Nicholson?
I can see that.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, I'll find out pretty soon because I'll be the first one there opening night.
Right.
No matter what because no matter what, I still want to see it. I'll still go see it. But no, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go down that road so long. But Aquaman looked amazing. Shazam looked like fun.
Yeah, I believe the exact texts were while I was waiting for the concert to start that never started last night. It was Aquaman, Smile, and then Shazam. It was kind of like the oh face. My fucking god, did I just fucking see that? Like, it looks so goddamn good, and it looks so goddamn good.
And I heard, we didn't see any footage, but I guess they showed some stuff from the Venom movie. They got positive reviews.
Yeah.
I think they showed the extended cut of Deadpool too.
Oh,
which
did they?
got people excited, so hopefully that's what we get on DVD.
I know
and
that
Blu-ray.
they are supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, so I think they showed that there. What else got positive reviews? Yeah, stuff they showed from Wonder Woman or stuff they talked about. I mean, if you saw the last one, you just know.
Yeah, apparently they did show some clips from Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So
yeah, all good stuff. Comic book news, biggest thing I saw that made me happy. Grant Morrison, who's a writer I love, is coming to do Green Lantern monthly, which they said is really going back to making it like an outer space cop drama. Like, you know, so it's going to be like, yeah. So
hopefully we'll get Green Lantern soon.
I would like to. It doesn't even have to be Hal. I mean, I'm cool with it being Jon Stewart. I just want to see Green Lantern on screen for more than 2 seconds when he gets killed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but
So safe to say, a lot of good stuff out of Comic-Con.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
Yeah.
to be excited about.
huge for DC, man.
Yeah,
I know I'm excited. That's
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Well,
You
what-
weren't before. You are now.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
did I see you ordering some DC shirts there on your phone as
Shoot,
they were
the
talking there?
extent of my comic book collection had Alf and NFL Super Pro.
I had those.
So what did Marvel show this weekend?
I think Marvel really took a break. I don't think they showed.
I didn't think. Yeah, they didn't really have a very strong presence.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. They hyped
Oh,
that
okay.
up some.
That's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun. You know, Nicolas Cage is probably having the best he's going to be having the best couple months he's had in a while. He's voicing Superman. Finally, he gets to be Superman in Teen Titans Go, the movie. Still not sure how I feel about that, but okay. And then he gets to voice Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I'll tell you what I was let down about, and this is kind of stepping away from Comic-Con, but when you mentioned that the actress that plays Eleven is going to be in the Godzilla movie, we earlier in the week found out that Stranger Things Season 3 isn't going to be out until next year.
But at least it's coming.
No,
we knew about that for a while.
See, I didn't know that it wasn't set for until next year.
I never finished season 2.
I didn't know.
So.
We did. We binged it the night it dropped. And I was really looking forward to like a Halloween, end of the year release. But
Well,
I think they're saying summer next year.
See, I understand.
it's-
But technically, the first season dropped summer. It dropped in July.
No, I'm okay with the whole summer thing, but why couldn't it have been this summer? Like, I'm ready for the next season.
Hey, at least
Is
you're
what-
getting
what I-
one.
Yeah, I mean, that's, definitely looking forward to it, but just kind of sad that we have to wait a little longer than what I thought for it.
Yeah.
I hear
Well,
it takes place in a mall. Yay.
Does it?
That's what I hear.
Oh, but at one point in time, didn't everything in the 80s?
I think that's kind of the joke.
Yeah,
it's kind
at
of
one
joke.
point in time, I think everything was in a mall in the 80s at some point.
Mall was the hot spot.
Or you had Dawn of the Dead, 1978.
Well, maybe
Close enough to the 80s.
I mean, yeah, that's what launched. That was the launching pad.
Right. Fucking love that movie.
But so just if you're a pop culture fan, a comic fan, whatever, this was just a great weekend overall.
Yeah.
It really was. It was just waiting for those fucking trailers to drop. It's just like amazing. I was talking to Jason, I'm like, it would be so much fucking fun to go. Like, we should totally try to make that happen. Like,
To do
I
a
would have
Comic
such a
Con,
fucking blast.
Yeah,
to go to a Comic Con. Well, that's why I told you I would
Go
love
to
to
that
do.
one.
I
No,
would
San
love-
Diego. I want to go to San Diego.
Oh, that would be awesome, but I would love to do a Morphicon. We talked about that.
Right,
It's
Morphicon would be awesome as well.
for basically San Diego Comic Con for us Power Ranger fans, which takes place next month. Also in California, but looking forward to that. Didn't really get a lot of Power Ranger news.
No,
This time
not
around,
really.
I mean-
They just introduced the current.
But if you got
Cast.
Morphicon next month,
Right, I'm kind of hoping maybe there'll be some more stuff there, but I thought maybe at least with, like we said, it's all pop culture now, like there would at least maybe be some mock images of the new toys to
Right.
kind of see what Hasbro's going to be putting out.
I'm very interested to see what Hasbro's toy line.
I want to see how they treat the Legacy line
Yeah.
that Bandai started. The other
Bandai
guy,
did a great job with it.
for the
I
most
know
part,
there was a mistake or two that they did with the Power Ranger line, which like with the Gold Ranger and stuff.
yeah, for the
but-
most part they did very well. I'm happy with the stuff that I picked up.
Yeah.
Certain things that people complained about, they actually did fix. And when the Legacy Thunderzords came out, there was an issue with how it stood.
I was just upset that you couldn't find them anyplace.
Other than Toys R Us.
Toys R Us, yes, but Man, there was periods of time where I was stopping at Toys R Us every fucking day.
I'll be honest, I just waited until the majority of it dropped online.
Yeah.
I did the
But
majority
see
of
me,
mine
like,
online.
I still love going into a store and finding what I'm looking for on the shelf.
I do
Or being
too.
surprised. There's
yeah,
no-
it's like, holy shit, they
Yeah,
fucking have
yeah,
it.
you don't expect to find. Oh, I do too, but I got just as much thrill out of it when you've got me that would wake up every morning before work looking at the Toys R Us website. And it's going to be the same 9-10 results, and then there comes the screen, 14 results. Holy shit! There's finally new toys. And then I got sad when it hit the wallet. It did, but it was a good sad.
But I remember going into the one Toys R Us down by Baltimore and coming across all the movie figures.
Yes.
Including Alpha. Like, I was almost shit my pants.
That day there was a cleanup on aisle
There
11.
really
Yeah,
was.
right?
That's right.
And,
You're like, no, toys are on aisle 9.
yeah, it's like aisle 4 for Power Rangers and
but no,
WWE and
I was really hoping.
Transformers, I think.
I was really hoping to get a look at what Hasbro was going to offer us. But, I mean, there's still, like we said, Morphicon coming up. You've got the New York Comic Con in, early October?
I think so.
Somewhere
Yeah,
in
so,
there,
I mean,
yeah.
they're still, they're about the only thing we had. Boom Studios, who's doing the comic books, did have a legacy figure, like an exclusive Psycho Ranger from the In Space and Lost Galaxy series. They did a Psycho Green that apparently was exclusive to the comics. He's a character, I guess they've
Gotcha.
debuted in the comics. There's a legacy figure of him being brought out that's an exclusive to
Is that
there.
from the Shattered?
I'm not sure if it's Shattered
I'm
Grid.
pretty sure.
If you couldn't make it to San Diego Comic Con, I believe he's selling for around $150 on eBay right now. You can pick one up if you just have money to burn.
I really want that.
There's also a Psycho Silver Ranger that I forget who has that exclusive. The exclusive that I want to see is the one that Morphicon had for people who pre-ordered your Legacy Lord Draken figure. Is that the one you were talking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one. This Psycho Green is something different altogether, but no, this Lord Draken figure, I've been waiting for that. There's actually images of it online. If you basically, for those who pre-ordered, registered online to go to Morphicon, you had the opportunity to buy a Draken figure. I think it's around $50, and of course, resale on eBay again around $130, $140. Pirating bastards. But
Pretty much.
yeah, so looking forward to see how that figure looks and what people's impressions are once it actually comes out.
Yeah.
So.
So, do we have anything else to go over?
I think we should end on a high note at that point.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot happier than where this conversation
Right.
was about 20 minutes ago.
So,
20.
Oh, don't get bored over there, Mister. I fucking have like 8 books on my shelf.
You gave
and
what does
they're
that have
all
to do with anything?
No, they're all nonfiction. He doesn't read anything fiction at all. Like nothing. So he's not entertained by
Wait, didn't
Harry
you say
Potter.
didn't you say he had Gone with the Wind over there? I mean, did Gone with
Doesn't
the Wind
mean I
really
read
happen?
it.
Yeah, he didn't read it. He didn't even know there was
I was
somebody who
on your
fucking
side.
autographed it.
I was
in
on
there.
your side. Yeah, it wasn't even the author, but I was on your side. What are you jumping on me
Yeah.
for? I was trying to give you props.
No,
was-
he gets really bored when we talk about the Star Wars and the Power Rangers.
The Star
and-
Wars.
The Star Wars.
It's the Star
Yeah.
Wars.
So,
But
Actually,
hey,
that was what it was going to be. It was going to be called. Wasn't that what he was originally? George
I
Lucas
think
was
so.
going to call it the Star Wars.
the Star Wars.
And Han Solo was going to be a big green creature.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. They you know how we've talked about, they should do more of the.
See, there he goes. There he goes.
He's
Look
about
at
to
him
drop-
nodding
Normal
off.
Han,
He's about-
and he's just like, Jesus Christ.
Well, you know how we've talked about how they should develop more unused scripts in the comics.
Right.
They turned George Lucas's original plot outline for Star Wars into a comic.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, they should fucking do that with
You
the
gave Tiger Woods
unused...
way more time than he deserved.
That's true.
Max
You
Landis.
got that right.
His unused script for Power Rangers, they should totally make that into a graphic novel. Like, I would read that shit in a heartbeat.
It was interesting. It was definitely an interesting take on it.
I liked it. The only thing I didn't like was the color Ranger swap.
See, I kind of
for-
dug
for
that.
black or pink.
It was different.
Yeah, he did it for shits and giggles. But overall, there was so much fan service in that script. Like, it was great. Like, the end scene, and he's talking about playing the fucking music. You can just picture the old TV show. And he really wanted to pay homage to it.
The
But
post-credit scene would have really gotten
the post-credit scene in Max Landis' script
would
was
have been
fucking
epic.
fantastic.
That would have been epic.
Okay,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, because I'm going to ask, what was it?
Okay, so it's similar to the movie we got in the sense that it's the first 5 Rangers,
Right.
but Rita is Rita. Goldar's in it, Babu Squat, like, fan.
A lot of more
total.
your fan.
Right.
I mean, the Power Rangers go and do what they do,
Right.
and they win the day. I mean, you're not surprised there. But
But Rita's kind of like a weird witch creature type.
he went a little more
thing.
alien.
He,
I'm gonna say-
he went very
Was
alien
she
with
kind
her.
of scorpion spider? Like
I
think
showed
you showed
you
me the picture.
Yeah, it was kind of like Krampus a little bit,
Okay.
but like a female witch.
Yeah,
form.
he definitely went a little more alien, even with like Zordon and Alpha.
Yeah.
He went.
Oh
much,
yeah, fucking what was it? Alpha was like a little octopus.
Yeah, I mean
spider thing.
Zordon was like a little creature too that could manipulate the TVs
Yeah,
and stuff.
that
It
was cool as shit. I need to reread
But
that shit.
the post-credit scene basically took place on the moon in the palace and they kind of redesigned the look for Finster too.
Yeah,
Finster-
Finster comes out. Finster is the guy who would make all Rita's creatures for him, and with the clay molds and everything.
He basically reports to Lord Zed.
Yeah.
And you get a look at Lord Zed, and is he holding the coin or something? Didn't they
I think, if I remember correctly, Finster brings... Actually, you know what? I have it downloaded on my phone.
Yeah,
but
he may bring it. I think he brings him the dragon coin or something. But it would have looked phenomenal.
It ends with an awesome way of, like, Zed saying that he needs to pretty much call and bring forth the Green Ranger.
Okay.
And he, like, brings the coin at the end. And it just sets up Green Ranger.
Right.
Green with envy. Green with evil.
Yeah, it would have been epic if it
for
had
the second movie. And I was watching like clips of Green Ranger this morning. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, had Max Landis' script got made, and then you set up a second movie for the Green with Evil series, that's the entire movie set up right there. You know, you could deal with the Rangers dealing with being Rangers in the beginning of the second movie. But then they also have the new kid,
have to deal with one of their own at the same
and
time.
them turning and all that kind of shit. Like, it would have been so fucking epic to see the Green with Evil series just adapted into a major motion picture.
But I think we should wrap before Nathan falls out of his chair. Or
Well, no,
kills us,
because now
one or the other.
Nathan's speed reading through some
No,
books.
no.
Yeah,
I looked.
that's not even a real book. That's like got actual handwriting in it. Is that somebody's journal?
It was my dad's journal, I think.
Really?
wow.
Does he talk about how he used to use corn?
And his love for Comic Con.
Yeah.
This was actually when he was in the service.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So,
Very interesting.
yeah, I had that one sitting there as a keepsake.
Have you
These-
read those?
Have I read these
No.
books?
Your father's journal.
I've looked at it. I've looked at it in the past. It's not. Most of the pages don't have anything in it. but-
Is he serious in it, or is he the father that I knew?
That we
cracking
know.
jokes and
Just looking for that plane to Pittsburgh.
He has the ranks in here.
okay.
For he wrote them down, like 5-star admiral and general and all that stuff. Let's see, what else does he have? Without going into much detail, but yeah, I mean this one. Here's an entry from June 9th, 1946. So it's a journal entry.
Very cool.
And then one in May, and let's see what else. Another in May. This has.
So 46. When did he enlist in the military? Do you know? Because that was right after World War II.
Yeah, that would have
ended.
been just, post World War II.
I think it may have been around that time or so. Maybe a little before. I'm not 100% sure, but
It's very interesting,
Yeah.
though. Very.
No, that is.
so. And well, I wanted to show you my extensive nonfiction collection.
Oh, okay.
With Gone with the Wind. I have Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson,
Yo-ho.
which I have not read.
Okay, so that
However-
makes 2 of the 3.
However, this
Is somebody fucking writing that too?
this is as old as 1933. It was to my uncle from my grandmother. So there was a little thing in there.
You
It
just got
says
history steeped all over this place.
15 men on the dead man's chest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. That's the quote that was also put in
Very
as
good.
the what was written. Little Men by Louisa May Alcott.
Sequel to Little Women.
Now, how little are these men?
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to say.
This one was gifted to my uncle from my aunt in 1934. And the copyrights on this, 1913, I think. So
Wow.
these are classics.
Very nice.
So yes, they remained mostly untouched until I moved and
Until you
until
touched
today.
Until you touched them.
So,
Well, thank
But-
you for sharing that.
yeah.
Yeah, we get
Yeah,
a-
that was very, very cool.
You know, not-
When you come over, I'll let you pick up one of my Brian Keene books or something. Circa 2010.
Yes.
so real classics.
Real classics. Hey, they're fucking phenomenal books. You should read one.
But I think that's going to wrap it up this time around.
Yeah.
Thank everybody for joining us.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll just go through our
Give a
social
quick
media.
social media plug.
Facebook.
Bastards. We want comments.
Facebook.
Well, apparently Nathan got them all involved with the golf thing. So
Apparently
they may not
pissed
have-
everybody off.
I know, right?
Facebook, the 546 Project. Just search for that. You'll find us. Our email is the546project@gmail.com. Our podcast website is the 546project 30 minutes or less.libsyn.com. And you can find us on iTunes and Google Play Music.
It'll get us followers. I'm about to plug my personal Twitter out here, for God's sake.
The page follows you, but you don't follow the
But
page.
you don't follow the page, yeah.
I need to look it up. Well, fine. You know
What
what?
is with that?
I
So
will do
you're
that.
asking these people to follow us on Twitter, and you don't even follow us on Twitter.
I have been buried in teddy bear paperwork, okay? I admit it.
Oh,
but,
but you can talk about your dice game, whatever thing, uploads to Twitter all the fucking time.
I don't have to do any work with that, and it earns me gold. You can find me on Twitter at Daredevil Yellow.
And you can find me on Twitter at PitZombie636. And you can find Jason not on Twitter because he only receives Stephen King tweets.
He does have a page, but it is not active.
Yes. Because he has Twitter for Stephen King tweets.
And
So-
you can't find Carrie on Twitter because she doesn't have time for Twitter.
No, apparently she does not.
I think she does, but she just says she doesn't.
I don't have a Twitter. I operate our page kind of.
Yeah. See, I keep all the stuff where I voice my own opinion to my personal page, unlike someone else who puts it on our Twitter page and gets us angry people.
But hey, you know what
it's
they say.
engagement. So
Well, you know what they say. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So
No.
there you go.
well, I'll tell that to James Gunn.
That's true,
Right
yeah.
about now. So,
And Josh Hader.
but
So-
yeah. So,
But thank you all for joining us. It's been a blast as always, guys.
all right, later.
Bye.
We out.
Bye.